want to welcome all of you to what we're calling the first annual Technology Day here at Eastern Illinois University. My name is Michael Hoadley. I'm the Assistant Vice President for Technology and also the Director of the Center for Academic Technology Support. Today's activities really, I hope, is going to be a culmination of many things that have been going on this past year that we're very proud of, and also moving ahead with what's happening at Eastern in terms of technology. A couple of housekeeping things to take care of first, too, is that there is a sheet of paper on your table that asks you to sign a subject release that says we can actually take pictures of you here. If you don't mind doing that, we would be pleased that we did leave a pen there for you that you can take with you afterwards, so we're hoping you would use the pen and then use it on your own. Okay. And then I'll be talking about it later too, but just as a reminder, the Technology Fair will continue after the luncheon. So from 1 to 3 o'clock we will be over in the vendor area, and there are a lot of products and a lot of things to see and talk about. And then at 3 o'clock we will have a special roundtable discussion across the hall in the 1895 room, and all of you are welcome, and anyone else on campus is welcome to attend that. And we're going to be talking about, the title is Dead and Emerging Technologies in Higher Education, and so we hope that's going to be a fun discussion about what's available and what's going to be out there in the future. My last comment would be just to let you know, the goal of this event is to celebrate and recognize the efforts of many individuals, groups, programs, departments, and organizations who are contributors, and that would be from the past, the present, and in the future, who have worked to shape the technology vision and its reality on this campus. I'm very pleased that all of you have taken the time to join us for this luncheon. You have been invited as our special guests, and I will be recognizing people throughout the luncheon for what you've done. And we have a very busy agenda, and we are a little bit behind schedule, so we need to move ahead with that. So right now I've asked President Henkin to give a few remarks.
Thank you very much. I just want to tell everybody here that my father used to own a furniture store, and because he used to own a furniture store, we had the honor, the privilege of having the very first television set in the entire neighborhood, okay? People came down, everyone in the neighborhood came down at 4:45 to look at the test pattern, because the first TV, the first station came on at 5 o'clock out of St. Louis. There was one TV station, and at 10 o'clock it went off. Now, I'm not going to give you a life history here. I'm not going to begin to show pictures of my family vacation or anything like that. But I want to let you know how far we have come in the area of technology. From the first television set, imagine that, and it was not that many years ago, 10 years ago when I was only 8, is when we had the first television set. But you think of where we went in technology, where we have come, because of the fact that somebody saw something in technology and said, we can do better than that. We can make it better. And so now we've gone from a television set that was on for 4 hours with one channel to satellite television, TVs, flat screen plasma TVs, TVs that can broadcast satellites over 200 channels, still with not much more on to watch than the one TV channel than we watched back then. The people who won the award today, the faculty members, the 16 faculty members, I wish to congratulate each and every one of them, are people who took what they had and they wanted to improve upon it. And they wanted to use what they had to make it better for somebody else. Very similar to the television set, the increase in technology. We are a better institution because of the hard work and dedication that you have used with using technology. And so with that, I congratulate the 16 award winners, and thank you very much for making this a better institution. Michael?
Thank you, President Henkin. And now I've asked the Provost, Dr. Blair Lord, to make a few remarks.
As you all know, I came here just 2 years ago, and as I look out across the room right now, I reflect back, could we have had a gathering like this when I arrived? We didn't at the time, and I don't think we could have. Where we were 2 years ago is a very different place than where we are now in terms of organizing ourselves and being prepared to talk about and recognize people who've pioneered in integrating technology into the instructional mission of this campus. A year ago, I was asked to try to write down some thoughts on a vision for technology, and among the things I wrote were we should seek to integrate technology in institutionally appropriate ways into the academic endeavor. And secondly, we should develop the seamless integration of classroom technology support, user services, media services, and support provided to the faculty by the CATS operation. I think we have accomplished, or at least we've come a long way toward achieving those things. And I think that's a real testament to the fact that we have brought in some of the right people. We also had a lot of the right people. And that's what this is about, to recognize folks who in many ways were pioneers in bringing this to the campus and helping others. We've done a fairly recent count on the number of courses that are in some way augmented by technology, that have some element of something delivered over the web through WebCT and the like. And I think it's now probably over 400 courses that have some augmentation of what we do in the classroom with the technology, something that's been technology delivered. I think that really speaks to the efforts of this faculty and the leadership of the CAT staff and the pioneers. So I too want to recognize the 16 folks that are being honored today. I also noticed I turned over the program and it has a listing of all these people and all these different committees that are involved in technology. And I thought, this looks like about half the campus, and that's good. Again, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Lord. Okay, before we begin recognizing people on campus, I want us to show our appreciation to the vendors who are here today. So I'd like all of them to stand up, please. All the vendors. We really do appreciate you taking the time to be here with us. I hope everybody gets a chance to go over to the technology fair. There is another copy. I know it was sent to all of you on campus, but another copy with the names and contact information for those individuals who are here today. So let's look forward to making some good decisions about purchasing technology equipment. I also want to recognize John Looby and John Henderson, if those two people would please stand up. They have done, John and John, there we go. They have done an excellent job in organizing the technology fair. They have also been very much involved in what's going to happen with the roundtable discussion. I will say too with John Looby, we really appreciate your help in terms of this audiovisual setup that we have today, because he's been working with the CAT staff, and we're trying something new, and we're hoping it's going to work very well as we go through this afternoon. Okay. Now I'd like to acknowledge a few groups and committees that have worked with CATS this past year and ask them to stand and be recognized. A year ago, I knew very few people on this campus. I feel very comfortable right now that, at least in this room, I probably know 80% of the people in this room, and I plan to contact the other 20%. It's very exciting for me, but one of the things is President Henkin and Dr. Lord both pointed out is that this is a celebration of what we can do together. And there are a lot of people on this campus that work very hard, and I know I've appreciated this year their support and the collaboration. One group is called TechNet, the Technology Enhancement in Colleges Through Networking, Education, and Training. That was created last fall. That's primarily, it started out with the instructional support specialist in the colleges. It's been expanded to include people from continuing education and ITS and of course CATS. And this past year we did over 100 free workshops on campus and trained well over 500, 600 people. And that's not counting the people who came to the information sessions as well. So with the people, anybody who's worked with TechNet this year, would you please stand up? a great group, and it's because of their expertise that we have on campus that makes the difference. Then there's the Academic Technology Advisory Committee, known as ATAC. They have been involved for several years now, since I believe 95, 96, campus-wide discussions related to the development of academic computer labs and the use of technology in the classrooms. And that's a very diverse group of people that help us in the decision-making process. So would all the people who are on the ATAC please stand? Everybody. Very good. And then we have the Comprehensive Technology Planning Committee, CTPC. We've been meeting every week since the 1st of February as part of a systematic process to gather data, and then we're in the process right now of gathering more data, and we'll be drafting recommendations on to the President and the Vice President of the ideas about creating a technology vision at Eastern. So would everybody who's on the CTPC please stand up? Very good. Now we have the Team Grants Council. One of the recommendations was to put together a campus committee to help in working with what was used to be called the Teddy Grants, and now that's transformed into what we call the Team Grants, Technology Enhancement and Management Grants. And this last spring they started the first wave of looking at proposals and for the funding and the professional development grants, and they're working with me right now as we start putting together criteria for the planning, implementation, and evaluation grants for this year. So would those 10 people please stand up? And then finally, I'd like to acknowledge a few campus resources and service providers that have worked with CATS this past year. First of all would be the staff at Booth Library Media Services. They've been instrumental, obviously, for many years in terms of supporting the installation of multimedia equipment on campus, and they obviously have been very directly involved in the support of over 100 technology classrooms at Eastern. And as you notice on your program, the 100th technology classroom was just designated, and Dr. Baharlo's the geography lab is where that is set up. So would the staff from Booth Library Media Services please stand up? And obviously they do lots of other things that I didn't mention, but they're very, very critical to what we do on campus. And then the staff at Information Technology Services, ITS. I wanted to recognize, Chat and I talked about this, and wanted to recognize the help desk staff. That group working this last fall really put together a great resource for the campus to answer questions every day and to direct individuals to appropriate resources. And then we also have the Distributed Computing Group, and they're responsible, in case you're not aware of it, helping with the academic servers on campus and working with WebCT and those types of things. So supporting our academic mission that way. So would the people from ITS please stand up? Very good. And finally, I just wanted to recognize the students who are here today. We asked some representatives from the Student Senate and from a student who was last year on the ATAC, and then we also asked the deans to invite students from their colleges, and we have some representatives here today. Very important, and we do need to acknowledge, we all know why we are here, and that's to work with the students in terms of their academic careers and moving forward with their professions. They also support us in terms of the networking fee and the technology fee, and that's really critical because all of our accomplishments, many of our accomplishments I should say, are because of that vision of able to use those kind of fees and support enhancements here. So with the students who are present, please stand up. Undergraduate and graduate students. Very good. Okay, and now we're going to move on to the academic spotlight for this celebration, which is focused on faculty members who are being recognized for excellence in the use of technology. The colleges have identified individuals whom they believe have made a difference in the classroom through their use of technology. 4 faculty members are being recognized from each of the colleges at Eastern today. because their efforts in using that technology have proven to be not only beneficial to the students in their programs of study, but also for achieving the goals and academic mission of this outstanding institution. I'd now like to ask each dean to come forward one at a time. That dean will make the announcements about the faculty members. If the associate dean would move over to this table with the 4 faculty members, we're going to try something here in terms of the presentation that way. So the first dean would be Dean James Johnson from the College of Arts and Humanities.